It was the late 70s. I was a graduate student in psychology in Worcester, Massachusetts, and I had a National Science Foundation fellowship, which was like a big deal. Um, I got support all around the year, and most of my colleagues didn't have a lot of support in the summer and had to fake it. Um, but it still wasn't a lot. I mean, you're a graduate student, you're not getting paid a lot even by the National Science Foundation. So once you bought a few beers for some friends, you're back to where everyone else is. Plus, it was the Carter era. So the inflation rate was running 17 to 18%. So even with the National Science Foundation fellowship, you're not really keeping pace with the amount of money you need to have to pay rent and buy food. Um, so it's rough. Now, graduate students are pretty, broke and poor anyway. You learn all sorts of tricks, like you always wear a sport coat with big pockets, so that after reception, you can put the cheese and crackers in your pocket, and you hang out long enough, and you maybe go home with a bottle of sherry. You go to undergraduate parties. You show up at people's house at 4:30 in the afternoon, knowing that if you hang out a while, they'll invite you for dinner. You eat a lot of mac and cheese and spaghetti because they're cheap and they fill your stomach, and that's what your life is like. You're in the library most of the time anyway, so it's doesn't really matter that much, I suppose. But it's constant. It's always there. It's like a weight on you all the time, and it's getting worse in the Carter administration. Okay, there's still parties. I'm a graduate student. I go to some undergraduate parties sometimes, and there's this wonderful graduate party. The hottest girl in my grad student class and her boyfriend, who actually turned down Princeton to go to the grad school that I was in. So these were like very cool people. And they had a decent house. I don't know how they afforded rent for it, but they have a bunch of people, graduate students in a party, and it's, they're providing the beer and the eats and so forth. So it's a freebie. Well, the problem is the music in the living room is a little bit too loud. So since mostly graduate students don't dance very much, there was probably about 5 or 6 of us that would hang out in the pantry because it was quieter in there. You had a place to set your beer down and you could, talk to other people and hear what they're saying. So that was nice. People would come and go. And at one point, there was no one else in the pantry and I was just there by myself. And I noticed this box of spaghetti sitting right in front of my face on the shelf. So I think, well, what harm could it do? So I take the spaghetti off the shelf, stick it under my belt, underneath my coat, and figure, okay, I'll get home and I'll have, meals for the rest of the week. This is fine. Except about that time, the hostess comes back in with, hands full of beers. Everyone want another beer? Here you go. And, the pantry fills up with people again. So I'm there, and by this point I have to pee. So I'm trying to figure out how I can extract myself from this small room. And somebody comes in and pushes me against the shelf a little bit by accident. And I know that that box of spaghetti in my pants has broken open. So I reach my hand in my pants to try to catch the spaghetti. And one of my friends says, "What the fuck are you doing, Teske?" And I just said, I'm just checking my package, just checking my package. So I pull my hand out of my pocket since I'm now done checking my package. And I feel the spaghetti sliding down my leg past my knee. And I know I'm basically fucked. Okay, how to extract myself? I immediately drop down to the floor to pretend to tie my shoe while I'm trying to stick these spaghetti strands inside my sock or something so that it's not obvious to everybody. And then but the spaghetti's spilling all over the floor. It looks like a really bad accident. And another friend of mine says, "Teske, what the fuck are you doing? What do you have in your pants?" And it becomes obvious to everyone in the room that I have stuck a box of spaghetti down my pants. It's now falling out of the pants leg, and I am just completely mortified. So I like hobble into the bathroom to get rid of this stuff and to get the fuck out of this party because this is horrific. My face is redder than it's ever been in my life. Now, of course, I walk outside the bathroom. There's like 5 graduate students in psychology ready to do some counseling for me because obviously I'm in deep financial problems. Even though I was in the same shoes everyone else was, and I couldn't live it down. I had to leave immediately, and I'm sure there are people in that class that still tell stories about me. But what it made me do was finally to say, I give up. I have to do this. I have to do something about this. So I walk all the way downtown in Worcester, Massachusetts to the welfare office. I sit in the urine smelling hallway for about an hour and a half before I finally get to talk to this guy. He's very sympathetic because I have an NSF fellowship and I don't have enough to pay rent and buy food. So I walk out of the welfare office with a packet of about $50 worth of food stamps in my back pocket. And I'm walking home. But instead of thinking what a sleazy loser I am under these circumstances, the sun is out, I've got $50 worth of food stamps in my back pocket. And the only thing I can think is, what a great country. Thank you.